really have self-care?
Stan, thank you. Yeah, I also have mental self-care, but today the idea of mental self-care is considered as the most, or rather as an important part of maintaining positive physical and mental health. But given the popularity of the term, its real practical applications may and can sometimes be forgotten, or rather can get lost. That is why on board I have a psychologist who will tell us what is the importance of ensuring that you are mentally, or rather you take care of yourself mentally, and probably he'll also suggest to us the ways of ensuring that we keep our mental health stable. Karibia hapa daktari, you are a psychologist, I understand, and today we're talking about self-care when it comes to our mental health. First of all, someone may ask, what is mental health? Briefly, kindly tell us what is mental health.
Thank you very much. My name is Cipriano Muidhia. I'm an addiction psychotherapist working at a Triple Palm Rehabilitation Center here in Nakuru at Keratina. Mental health simply means maintaining a balance in the mind, a balance of thinking, a balance of decision making, a balance of understanding, and a balance of feelings, so that everything you do is in the line and aligned with your mind, your heart, and your body. And that's about mental health.
How can one take care of their mental health?
Mental health is a wholesome, is a wholeness, understanding of self. And when you take care of your mental health, it does not necessarily mean that it's your brain, but it entails all aspects of your living. That is mind, heart, and body. So when you understand how to take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your soul, take care of your environment, actually you are understanding how to take care of your mind or mental health. Because mental health is affected by all aspects of your living. That is your environment, your work, your family, your relationship, even the food you eat can affect your mental health. So therefore, taking care of your mental health is generally taking care of everything that pertains to your living.
The impact it has on your general body, maybe?
The impact it has in your general body is that when your mental or your mind is disturbed, then you realize that you become impaired. When you become impaired in a way that you are not able to function in a normal sense. Because mind is like an engine of the body, whereby if an engine fails, then all the other parts of the body may not be active. Because already the central part of your body is impaired or is broken. So therefore you'll not be able to connect 1, 2, 3 things. And remember, the same brain is what helps us to make decisions, is what makes us to plan, is what makes us to organize. Therefore, if it is not in order, then you'll not be able to plan, to organize, or to plan or to do anything.
You talked of taking care of also your soul. Spiritually, is reading the Bible also a part of taking care, or rather ensuring that your mental health is good?
Definitely, because the Word of God is a life-giving spirit. So when you engage God, then you realize that you'll be able to escape many other spirits of confusion, spirits of disorder, spirits of seductions that can distract your health of your mind and your body and your soul. So therefore, engaging God through His Word, actually it's like building your moral aspect, which stands to give you a kind of a guard against many other things that may be negative in your life and that might be destructive in your life.
Physically now, for the people who go to the gym to keep themselves or their bodies fit, is it a part of ensuring that their mental health is stable?
Obviously. When you do exercise in your body, then it helps your body to organize and realign all the chemical activities in your system. Because when you have enough oxidation in your system, then your body is able to transport your blood throughout your body, and by so doing, it's the communication from the brain to all other parts of the body finds a highway that is not distracted, a highway that is not blocked, and therefore a person is able to function in a more fresh way and a more powerful way and even more normal way, just by doing physical exercises.
Talk to us about the personal meditation. When someone just feels I need my time to meditate, how important is that?
Meditation, for us, we call it mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you are able to realize that everything around you has its purpose in making you live a harmonious life within yourself and around yourself and with your environment. So therefore, when you find time every day to sit down and reconnect yourself with all the activities of the day, you are doing mindfulness. Because all those things that you have done during the day are able to communicate to you that today you had this kind of feelings and that kind of feelings, and these feelings contribute to how now you accumulate stress or you accumulate energy in your body. So mindfulness is a way of helping you to organize your tomorrow from today.
The very last question, Dr. Briefly, because we're ending, give us, maybe suggest to us some effective self-care tips.
Some of the most important things that you need to consider is mindfulness. First of all, have time with yourself. Secondly, is what we call inventory. Inventory is whereby you go through all your activities and see which activities you succeeded and which one you failed, and be able to plan for tomorrow. And secondly, always visit your counselor whenever you feel stressful or you have a big decision to make.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dr. Stan, that is a psychologist, of course, based here in Nakuru County, telling us more on how best we can be able to take care of our mental health. But of course, I have just noticed one thing, that you really have to check in yourself, like ask yourself questions. Am I physically healthy? Am I mentally healthy? Am I spiritually healthy? And all that. That is how we'll be able to know, are we mentally stable? Are we okay whenever we do our things? So that is all we have from Nakuru County. I hand over to you, Stan. My name is Chichi Josephine, and I'm mentally stable and my health is okay.
County 032 in Las Vegas, and back here in 047, I talk about the whole safe space. And earlier on, having a whole performance. Before we actually continue, you can actually introduce them individually. Tutakuwa tunawatafutia mics later on, watume salamu nyumbani. But as there, you can just introduce them. You can start from that particular order.
Okay, from this coming from far, the first one is Laureate. She's called Laureate, and then Vivian, and then Paul. Those are the dancers, part of the dancers of Lost State of Mind.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens in Lost State of Mind, really?
So mostly Lost State of Mind, what we do, we normally use our art, dance, to be able to tell people and talk about mental health, to make the uncomfortable conversation be more comfortable to people. For people to be able to realize that what they're going through, other people are going through, so that we try to trigger conversation within people. Yeah.
When, as a choreographer, you have this performance on stage, and at the end of the performance, the 30 minutes, for example, the viewer is still asking, Mr. Leo, what do you feel inside? Una feel, where the boo, nini ukuelewa?
So most of the time, if you get somebody who has not understood the performance, it always means that maybe I do not get to explain it. It's like a composition or telling a story. How do you tell your story? Sometimes you need to be able to tell your story in such a way that it relates to the audience. So that's why we make possible, when we're doing, before we come up with a performance at any particular time, we do research and try to understand how do the audience perceive these things, what kind of problems that our audience go through, so that the moment you showcase these things, they are able to relate. The good thing about it is what we dance here is most of the time is also the dancers have gone through. We have gone through group therapy, so that's why they're comfortable telling their story, and that's why it always relates to the audience. So we make sure that it's a point that it relates to the audience. So a lot of research and a lot of education that go through the whole process.
So chances are, even for the dancer individually, they're probably experiencing something or have ever, for them to really let it out on stage.
Yes, at a particular point in life, because before you're a dancer, you're a human being. So that's the basic thing. So in life, they also go through several challenges in life. So for them, it's also something that they speak out, is something that has already happened with them, that is within them. But now within the group therapy, we make it comfortable for them to be able to tell their story. Even if they tap into that story, it doesn't become overwhelming. At times, in certain performance, it has become overwhelming to a dancer. We had to tone it down a little bit and then come back to,
Ilizidi.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So, because I mean, the last time we were talking about this with Vic, also, so you're also training, children.
Yes.
I'm curious now for those, for such kind of dancers, they came on board later on. They'd say a dancer is always a dancer. There are dancers who, who take Afrobeats and they are the top. Wekea piano, they're top. So, fusing the kind of normal genre that you're used to now into this kind of dancing, this is a whole different kind of setup. How easy or how hard is it to have a dancer amezoea a certain routine and then they're going in a slow kind of mood, expressing, because I feel like, when you're dancing at this whole Wekemto piano, in one way, they're kind of forgetting what they're feeling because they're feeling the music and everything. But this one, it forces you to dig deep, feel, this is what I'm feeling. Leo niliamka nikakunywa strungi, black tea, sinado, adisapa. It makes you think about these things. So how easy is that fusion?
So it's like tapping into, most of the thing is like we have 4 cups of emotion. I was telling you earlier: happiness, sadness, fear, and anger. So using these 4 cups of emotion that normally guide us is like our pillar of when we're making any kind of routine. So we look at what are we trying to express. So for happiness, as I told you, it's very easy for anybody to be able to jump. So using the Afrobeat music, the high hype music, it's totally, you get into the music and now it's about bringing the happiness without you realizing. It's not that you forget about what is happening. It's just like you have tapped into the happiness cup and you're expressing the happiness because of the music. Now with this other music, it's something that you have to express yourself. How do I express myself? I want to express the sadness. Where do I get the sadness from? So it's something that I have to relate to that sadness. So easily I go back in life and tap into the sadness where I was sad in life, and then borrow that sadness that I'm feeling and then express it through my body. Now it forces you to go into that element of maybe sad and now bringing it out. So you tap into something that has already happened into your life, that it becomes real. We don't act it out, but it's something that is real and you have gone through it.
But is it hard for a dancer to learn the routine for this particular choreography? A dancer who's used to different set of dance moves, comparing to you, and you'll talk about this more, the children that you guys are training. You're training new for the new brain, kind of a new routine. So they grew up learning this is how to dance this kind of choreography. So maybe training, is it easier training this kids this particular moves than when you ushazeeka tayari? Sijasema mmezeeka, msiniangalie vibaya.
So most of the time, what we do, for me, we are very optimistic and very positive about people. So the first thing, because we take you and then we train you, we teach you, because it's a process. Because I always say, if you can walk, you can dance. You're never born walking.
Hapo my crew watasema hivi.
Watasema ni uongo.
Watasema huyu tumejaribu.
Inafaa ujapitia kwa mkono yangu. Kupitia kwa mkono yangu, utarudi hapo showcase mambo mengine washangae. Unistand kweli.
Kweli unasikia hiyo? So by February nitakuwa na joke dance. Continue.
So We take, and then once we get you into the space, we normally teach, because it's already a class. Because you have to be, number one, are you open-minded? Are you willing to learn? You don't have to be closed, because as a dancer, you already dance. You know that dance is very wide. So if you're willing to be able to learn this thing, because for them, they don't dance only contemporary. They also dance into other things, African, Afro. They're really good with other things. If you put that bit over here, you'll be surprised on how they switch to the other side, because they're really good. So it's something that they were open-minded about it and learn in their process. And then the good thing about us, like, we are also, if you're willing to learn, we're also willing to teach. So it's always a process of, like, it's a give and receive thing. Yeah.
How is the whole training of the kids going on? Are they quite receptive to this idea of
so for
expressing themselves?
Most of the teenagers that we've worked with, so what we do with them is, like, we try to, first of all, ride to what they are used to. And then now from there, it's like, now you try to now bring them to this other side, telling them there's also this other side. First of all, we do what they do, and then from there, you now move to try and explain what are these other things. So can you be able to maybe use the same dance that you're using and now express it in a sad way? Use the same Afrobeat that you're using, now express it in a fearing way. So that's what we do. And so far, so good. We have done several classes with young people, and the reception is very wonderful.
And, well, generally, I mean, the kind of performances that you really set out, the kind of system, do you feel like as a country we have more forums like that, that people can actually come on board and have an open space and say, it's a whole round table, and say, by the way, mimi niko na shida, and this is what I'm feeling?
I think right now as a country, we are not yet there. We are pretty far, and that's why I think that's why of the thing that motivated us to start doing this. Because number one, mental health was not being talked about. It just started recently here in Kenya. So people are still viewing it as a very kind of strange thing, unique thing. It's not very receptive yet, because people do not know it exactly, because they associate mental health with, like, high-end diseases. Hiyo ni story ya wadosi, hiyo story ya walami, so leo unatuletea nini hapo? No. So it's yet to be able to people to understand. So that's why we chose that line, and that's why we're trying to educate people and tell people this mental health can affect anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So Suleiman, nadai usimame, because I mean when you're mwalimu wao, even as you also tell us the social media handles then.
Okay.
And where can someone reach you? Mtu kama mimi mwenye niko na 2 left feet. Umesema nitapitia mkono wako.
Mostly if you follow us on social media, that is Instagram, lost_state of mind, and also in Facebook, L_state of mind,
right.
And also LinkedIn and Twitter, which is the XL_state of mind,
right.
And also TikTok.
Right.
And we also have open classes, like coming Sunday, we have an open class in Lavington, DCK.
Free of charge?
It's just free of charge. We just make it free, and then it's an open class where we get to educate people and show people about. It's going to be an African dance, like appreciating our culture. So
location?
Lavington, DCK, 4th floor.
Good stuff. Now, because najua, I mean, the whole performance you guys were having was about like a whole 30-minute thing. Yes, you come tunaweza kuwa na your time ya 30 minutes. But then, as a choreographer, a small performance as we wrap it up.
Yeah, nishawafundisha sasa kwa mikono yao.
Ka performance kadogo. Haya, wewe ndio nakuachia. Ni kuache hapa na wao kama mwalimu, ama we step back and tuone venye.
Acha to step back tuone